Good morning. Happy Sunday. Good to see all of you again. I'm imagining you all, it reminds me of, many of you won't remember this, but Romper Room, where she was pretending she'd hold a mirror up and say, I see Judy and Sally, and just being silly. So today, lots of happening in the world, lots of things happening in the world, and I think we need to be silly a little bit because it was very interesting because since last Sunday, I've been in a little bit of a fog because the energies have been really affecting me lately. And many of you that are sensitives or empaths, if you're thinking that, oh my God, I'm mad at my life or something's not going right, we are being affected by what's happening in the collective. And what I mean by that is the world. What are we all going through right now? I just spoke to my dear friend Ann Austin in Cyprus, and I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? I'm like in this negative, place, and I just can't shake it. And what she said, which was very interesting to me, was she says, she checked in and she said, this isn't, because I said, I've been fine this whole time through COVID and everything. I've just been doing my work and trying to be in service, and that's been getting me through it. And she said, no, you're feeling the effects of everything that's happening in the world. And she was telling me, perhaps you know this, but I don't watch the news. And she was telling me about how all of Europe is protesting as well. And so everything that's happening here in the US, she said, you have allies. Everybody over the world is saying, isn't this awful? The American people, look what they're going through. This isn't right. And people must be scared. And even with the COVID and the numbers and being quarantined, she said people in Europe are having such sympathetic ears for us that they're like, this never happens in America. America's supposed to be peaceful. Well, it's interesting the way they view us, but she said in Austria and Germany and England and France, they're all joining in on this. And we were talking about how people are so angry right now that they've been quarantined for months, and they may or may have not, lost their jobs, and everything that's been going on is just too much, and you reach the tipping point. And she was saying to me, I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Where's this coming from? Did I pick up something? And she's like, no, you didn't pick up anything. This is you picking up the energies of the world right now. So I know I had my I had a bunch of calls that I was teaching this week, and everybody was feeling that in my monthly group. You want to do something and you don't know what you can do. And then let's add the quarantine and, being afraid to go out and all this to it. It's not easy. And you want to do the right thing. And I had a beautiful meditation the other night that came through, and it was really about allowing for peace. We can't be in a place where we're adding to the mess, and even, so many people want to judge our politicians, and I'm not saying I'm for either side. I'm for peace. And what I want to say is the masters have told me repeatedly, do not start gossiping and judging and this and that. He should have done that. She should have done this, because you're adding to the problem. Imagine having half the world judging whoever in different roles in the politicians and saying, this one should have done that, that one should have done that. That just goes into the collective soup. And we do not understand what's going on. We're waiting for Spirit to come in and intervene. And Spirit says, well, you have free will. And we say, well, we're asking for help. So, and we never know how the help is sent. So, I just wrote a blog for that will be brought through in July about that. We don't know. We think we know, but we don't know. All of us. And so we all have to be honest enough to say, we don't know. You know, it's like a child trying to say, well, if only I had this, it would make me feel better. And then they get that, and it's like, oh, that's not doing it. And then we become an adult and we say, if only I met Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect, Miss Perfect rather, my life would be wonderful. And then you meet somebody and you're like, oh, there is no perfect down here. And I'm still not happy, because we have to heal what's in ourselves first. And you know what? I know when people come to me for readings and they want to talk about the future with a relationship, they don't want to hear that I say that you have to heal yourself. And usually it comes through like this: I've already worked on myself. Yeah, I can tell. So, you know, just be in that place that you say, okay, we're navigating uncharted territory right now. And all you can do is pray or send out the positive. You don't have to send it to somebody you don't believe in that's leading or whatever. But in general, you're not gossiping, you're not talking about negativity, and you're putting out the light. Let's see what's possible if we change that, okay? And in my meditation the other night, there was some beautiful energies that came through, but one of them was John Lennon. And I was taken back to the 60s of the, you know, first of all, the racial rights, civil rights, and all of that. And then being able to see the sit-ins that were peaceful back then, for a while anyways, and all of that. And John Lennon was singing "Give Peace a Chance." And it was so beautiful that all of us that were on that call, man, give peace a chance, we felt so much lighter in our hearts after everybody commented on that. Ben, come here. That we felt the love, we felt the peace, and it was just like he brought the energy in of "Give Peace a Chance," and we could all hear that song. That was just amazing. So anyways, just some thoughts about that. This up and coming week should be interesting with everything that's happening. And we have to remember that even though we're here going through the physical experience, there's a gazillion beings and loved ones on the other side that are here to help us through this, myself included. So I have to remember to call on them and say, hey, help me out. I'm having a hard time with this. And I found myself with all of this, you know, kind of going through feeling some irritation, feeling some anger, feeling some sadness, and where I just sit down and start crying. And when Anne told me, oh no, you're right, it's from all of this energy, it allowed me to look at things in a different way and say, okay, I'm allowed my feelings. This makes me sad that we're all separating out again. But if we look at the bigger picture of what's needed here is unity. Unity consciousness, that we're all fighting for our rights. Fighting's the wrong word, but we're all making a stand for our rights. And here we are. Okay, so let's look at pulling some cards for this up and coming week. I'm going to do it fresh right on the call. This one wants to come. Temptation. Come on, Ben. So temptation is a card. It's the devil card in this deck. And the temptation, what I'm feeling is, we get tempted into joining the crowd. You know, if everybody's in an angry state, we want to be angry. But What are you angry about? Now, the world has a lot to be angry about right now, not just with what happened in this case, but we've been confined for how long? People may or may not have money right now. People may be worried about their future, the uncertainty. Kids, are we going back to school or are we not? Are we going back to work or are we not? So it's tempting to join, everybody else in their bitching and complaining and all of that. It's very tempting to do that. But this week you're being asked to hold yourself accountable. And with all of this, look at what you're really angry about. What is it? All right, so we're moving to Rebecca Campbell's. Whoops. I feel like I want to pull 2 cards from her deck. Okay, so the first card is a big yes. That's all it says is yes. Just say yes. Okay? And this to me says, yes, this is what I want. This is where I'm going. Yes. It's saying we're on the right track. Okay? And it's 3 goddesses celebrating. And what's interesting to me is they're in a pyramid, and we know that a pyramid amplifies energy at all times. So it's like holding the pyramid and allowing the energy to come through. So what can you do energetically about what's happening right now? The next card is Warrior Woman. And it's a woman holding a sword. And to me, the sword always is the mind. And she's holding this sword. So how can you be a warrior in a whole different way? Okay, we have warriors that go out and, fight with the sword or with the gun or whatever. But how can you use your mind and laser in and focus and be a warrior of the light? Is it prayer? Is it meditation? What is it that you can do to offer up that energy right now when it's so needed? All right, we're going into Yasmin Boland's deck. Nothing will come of this situation. It's a void of course moon. So, in a void of course moon, it's like you don't want to do anything when the moon is void of course, because things could fall through, nothing could happen. It could end up being a bad thing that happens if you buy a new car or whatever. So we have to be careful, because we want to just offer our prayers and everything up for the good of all, because we don't know what's highest and best. This says nothing will come of this situation, and it makes me feel that if we're in the wrong place, we're just spinning our wheels, wasting time. But this says we have to be careful, or nothing will come of this. If people continue to be violent and do what they're doing, nothing may come of all of what's being done right now. This is the deck Cryon by Monica Moragni. Doesn't want to come out? Okay. A radiant peace. As I feel my heart, I feel the essence of God. As I feel the essence of God, I touch the core of my being. As I focus with the core of my being, I radiate peace and remain wrapped in a bubble of love. Well, is that beautiful? So it's a purple card, and the purples are all the higher learnings here. So that's good, almost like the violet flame. And the last card for today is Keepers of the Light Oracle by Kyle Gray. Which being wants to work with us to help us this week? Green Tara, supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation and trust. How beautiful is that card? And what I think of is also it's all that beautiful, well, it's emerald green and gold and a different colored green, almost like that water green. And to me, this is all the heart chakra. So this is saying that, you know, they are working with us and through us as long as we remain peaceful and do it in the right way. Nobody's going to listen to somebody lighting something on fire. You've just ruined and wasted time with all of this. So what I want to say is that this week, a reminder, don't be tempted into the places we shouldn't be. Hold your yes. Yes, we can do this. This is where we want to go. Work with the mind to focus and know that unless we do it right, nothing's going to change. And then be in a place in your heart. Focus in here to change things. And knowing that we are protected at this time. Tara herself is saying there's a different way and we will protect you. So let's allow the unfolding week to come and to just be in a place that we can make some changes with our mind this week. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful day and week, and remember, we can do this. Bye.